What's going on, guys? So this has actually been highly requested for a long time now, and I didn't realize just how long it had been since the last time I ranked my 10 favorites from Happyland Studio. A lot's changed since I did that. EJ's released a lot, and I mean a lot of fragrances since I did that video, and this top 10 has changed. I didn't put them in any particular order like I typically do with my top 10 list. Some of these may surprise you, some of these are going to be familiar, but let's talk about them. Stay tuned. Starting with one that I still wear out of my 30 ml, but it has a handwritten label, so I feature my 50 ml. But we're talking about Paisley Sky from Happyland Studio. The whole Paisley backdrop, the pinks, the bright blues, two of my personal favorite colors, kind of the South Beach theme. But the fragrance is beautiful. It has this oud for greatness feel mixed with, I forgot what the inspiration is for the other fragrance that this kind of reminds me of. Because I just can't remember off the top of my head, but it's sweet. It's got a little bit of the synthetic oud. It's got this berry sweetness to it. So mass appealing. A little creamy in its dry down. So I don't have to keep saying it with every single fragrance. Performance is fantastic on all of these. I don't remember the oil concentration, but he uses above 30%. They're all long lasting. They're all loud fragrances. So now that that's out the way, this for a long time was my number one. But if I had to pick a new number one, I don't think this is the one anymore. It's still, if I was to rank these, it would definitely fall into the top five still. But there's some really good offerings. This is not necessarily something I would want to wear in the heat. Definitely a cooler weather fragrance, very unisex. Very easy wear for having a little bit of a touch of oud. A lot of heliotrope in here. If I remember correctly, I think that's what's giving that strong floral pop. But it's not an overly feminine fragrance, but definitely sample worthy. One of the best that EJ's ever put out, for sure. It's Paisley Sky. Next, this beautiful, sweet, and boozy fragrance reminds me of being at a bar room. Like just back when you could smoke in bar rooms, which I don't think you can anymore. I know it's been a while since I've been in just a club/bar room that wasn't a restaurant bar. I digress, but we're talking about El Gudo. And yes, I still think it's very Goodo. Some good stuff right here. Unique, strange, super boozy, grape, fruity whiskey type of smell. I still get grapes every single time I smell this. I don't know if it smells more like purple grapes than green grapes. Just a beautiful fragrance. I haven't worn this one in a little while. I think this needs to go on the rotation now that I'm smelling it. Absolutely fantastic. Another one that probably, I don't want to say it would still fall into the top five or not, but this was top three for a long time. Like I said, a lot's changed. He's put a lot of stuff out. This was one of the most difficult compiled lists I've ever made because there's just so many good offerings from EJ. I advise sampling everything in this video. If you're interested in Happyland Studio, he'll make you a sample pack, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. And El Gudo is a must-try on that list if you want something that's on the more unique, sweet, boozy side. I haven't smelled another fragrance that smells like this. And again, very, very loud fragrance, attention grabber, conversation starter, because it doesn't smell like everything else. Another one not built for the warm weather is El Gudo. Something a bit more timeless in its style would be Happyland's Barbershop. Now, I do have the shave set, the old version, and the new version, as well as the solid. Big fan of this if you like leather-based barbershop fragrances. It's a beautiful orange at the top, but a lot of leather here. It still has the aromatics. It still has that shaving cream, barbicide, and aftershave type of feel. All of the elements of being at a barbershop with a lot of leather. A lot of leather. This is another one. Very strong, much more of a timeless masculine scent profile. Just done in Happyland in E.J. Wells' take on it, basically. And it's a safe play if you like barbershop fragrances and you're not sure what to try from Happyland, because some of these are kind of unique, different, a little off the wall, but nothing ever so challenging. And this is definitely not a challenging wear. Like I said, orange, aromatics, a little touch of wood, musk, and definitely some leather. Beautiful, beautiful, very, very strong as well. Man's man type of scent profile, Barbershop. Now this one is the newest release. I just got it. I've only wore it one time. This is the strongest fragrance in this video. It is noteworthy to state that. If you like smoky, you should really try Inlandish. This is a collaboration with the band that made this album. That's why it's the album cover as the label, not EJ's typical stuff. Look how dark this juice is. The scent profile matches the color scheme of this juice. It's a burning leaves and woods type of smell. Very, very smoky, incense heavy type of smell. Actually, I think it's birch is the note. It's a lot of it. This is very ashy, smoky type of thing. In my video on this, I mentioned that I keep getting vibes of Overture Man from Amouage. While not even close to the same note breakdown, it impacts me the same way. So if you're a fan of that fragrance, you're going to like this one. It's not the same fragrance, but it gives off a similar vibe. And like I said, immediately, that was the fragrance I thought of the first time I smelled this. It's floating in the air. This is, whew, man, serious conversation starter, polarizing. Not for everyone. This is a bit more niche within a niche, whereas it's a challenge. Very, extremely masculine. My wife, not a fan. Joe from the Dry Down Lowdown. Shout outs to Joe. Allie, his lady, not a fan. So guys looking for something that's just super masculine, hanging with the boys type of scent in the evenings, going out to see a band, hit the bar, whatever, this is that fragrance. It's going to start a conversation. It's extremely unique. It's one of those extremely manly, only the select few will like, but damn it, if you can appreciate it for what it is, this is ridiculously good. Get a sample and try this one. If you want something different and you like super smoky, check out Inlandish. Next is a fun, happy holiday gourmand. We're talking about Homme for the Holidays Decaf Edition. This came out just in time for Christmas this past year. And I'm a big fan of the original, which we will discuss in a little bit. This takes away the coffee note, amps up the sweetness. It smells like gingerbread cookies. It doesn't have that syrupy waffle smell from last time. It's a little bit, it's kind of there. It doesn't have as heavy of a maple syrup note. But a lot of gingerbread cookies going on here. It's beautiful. Sweets, candies, all the different holiday things you would think of, minus some chocolate. You know, they don't really have a chocolate smell in here as far as a delectable Christmas-style dessert fragrance, but it will remind you of the holidays, and the label is always just so creative. You gotta love it. Has the green and red Santa hat on there. Just absolutely beautiful. Holiday themed, meant to be worn during the holiday season. This is a fragrance that I'll strictly wear in December, just like its original that this is flankered from. I love that he named it Decaf Edition because he did add a few sweet notes, but the main thing is he removed that robust dark coffee note that was in the original. Just absolutely gorgeous. If you like gourmands and want a fun holiday themed fragrance that will make you think of Christmas time with your family, check out Homme for the Holidays Decaf Edition. Might as well follow that up with the original. This may be my favorite fragrance from the house. And it's the most situational of all of them. Homme for the Holidays. This is my favorite coffee fragrance of all the coffee fragrances I have. Again, Syrupy Waffles has this maple syrup smell with this deep, dark, robust coffee note. 30 ml goes a long way with me. Atomizer's getting stuck. So good. So good. I only wear this one in December as well. It's holiday themed, Christmas themed, as expected by the play on words for the name and the logo with the Happyland guy wearing the Santa hat. Again, this time it's red and white. This is another one that's absurdly powerful. I've clocked this one at 16 hours multiple times. Very loud. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from this fragrance. It is gorgeous. But, like I said, it's so seasonally situational for me. It's not just a great winter fragrance. It's specifically a holiday season, Christmas time fragrance for me. As with Decaf Edition, there's a pairing. So, if you're not a fan of coffee, you have your Decaf Edition. If you are a fan of coffee, you definitely have the full caffeine version here. Gorgeous, absolute must-try. This is probably the main recommendation I give people. I'll say if you like a good coffee fragrance, my favorite coffee fragrance is Homme for the Holidays. Must try. Absolute must try. Pretty much a must own, in my opinion, when it comes to Happyland. That's Homme for the Holidays. Basically a fall classic that doesn't really get talked about much anymore from the house. I haven't wore this one in some time. It is One of the best smelling ambers I've ever put my nose on. Happyland's Amberland. This is one of the past releases, been around for a while, just like Barbershop. It's good stuff. It's a rich, spicy amber. A little bit of a woody feel to it here. I believe there's a touch of patchouli that I do pick up, but riddled full of amber. Beautiful, hence the name Amberland. One of the best ambers I've ever smelled. This is another one that people that are fans of amber-based fragrances, where that's a dominating note and accord smell that you get, really should get your nose on this one. This is absolutely sample worthy if that's your jam. Or if you just want to try something that's not super challenging or very sweet, because it's not a ton of sweetness here. It's more warm overall with a little tone of spiciness in the backdrop, a little touch of sweetness. There's no heavy, because I know we've talked about a few that kind of lean on the sweetness in this video thus far. So if you're not a fan of hugely sweet, but you like amber, you should really get your nose on Amberland. Basically, Happyland's take on Beach Hut Man from Amouage. We're talking about Wonderland. Wonderland is a gorgeous minty green, resinous, moss-filled fragrance. Spicy greens, fresh greens at the tops, becomes more and more spicy greens as it dries, because there's a lot of oak moss here. This is good stuff. Man, I know this scent profile is known to be kind of a different take on a summer fragrance. And yeah, you can pull it off in the summer, but this is so strong and dense green on my skin. I can't help but think spring and fall. I think this current season really suits it. At the recording of this, it is the fall season. This is beautiful. If you're a fan of Beach Hut Man but don't want to spend Amouage money, you should really look into this. I have not put my nose on Beach Hut Man, and from what this is what others have told me, that it's a dead ringer for it. I just judge the fragrance as it is on its own, as a standalone, and it's magnificent. Interesting design here with the label and the color scheme. I dig it, but I'll tell you what, green's a good color because green is what you get. Like I said, there's green notes, there's mint leaf in here, a true mint leaf smell, as well as the oak moss. A lot of greenery here. There's a little bit of myrrh resin, if I remember correctly, that provides this kind of dark and balsamic feel. Just so good. Another one, must try. Everything in this video is must try from the house. Happyland Wonderland. Next is for you spicy fragrance lovers. This is probably the spiciest fragrance from the house. Has a beautiful creaminess to it as well. We are talking about Diabolique. One of my absolute favorite, more recent releases from EJ. This stuff is fantastic. Great for the cooler months. I can't imagine what's not to like about this scent profile. I would think most people would enjoy this. There's fresh spices, there's warm spices, there's a little bit of an earthy tone, there's a creamy wood smell. It's absolutely magnificent. And of course you have the pitchfork, the tail, and the devil horns this go round. Interesting, wicked design for the Happyland guy that's typically on the labels. It's one of those fragrances that I feel like everybody should get their nose on. It's a very special scent profile. Like I said, if you're in the spicy. And when I say spicy, I don't mean just blasts of peppers and all this different stuff like a spice bomb style. No. It's not like that. It's much more complex. There's a lot more subtle nuances and changes overall to the scent's character. It's not one-dimensional. It's not just a hit of spice. The spice is very well blended in here. While very detectable, not overdone. Like I said, it's very, very well composed. Kudos to EJ. If you like spicy, different spicy, try Diabolique. The last fragrance should come as no surprise to anyone. It is the one I wear the most. Shameless. The most versatile, mass-appealing, fresh fragrance from Happyland Studio. Blue fragrance. Even though it's an orange label, this is a blue fragrance. At the top, you're going to get a bit of bitter orange. The ambergris that's used here has more of an aquatic tone to it, which really gives that blue fragrance feel. You get a little bit of some soapy lavender here. There's a bit of tartness from the fruitiness at the top. You don't really get any florals. I don't really get a hit of florals. And it's just got this nice dense wood that slides in with a bit of vanilla as it starts to settle down with that lavender. Beautiful stuff. Super, super versatile, mass appealing. There's a little bit of sweetness. There's some citrus. There's a little bit of an aquatic tone. It's got all of those blue fragrance facets going for it with the performance to match. This, again, most versatile from the house for sure, which, if you're familiar with my taste, that's what I like to wear most of the time, is these versatile everyday wears. So naturally, this is kind of my favorite from the house, mainly because it's what I wear the most when I'm in the mood for something Happyland. It's just so easy for me to grab Shameless off the shelf and roll with that. It stays to the front of the shelf because I know it's going to be the one I reach for the most. So if you're looking for a safe play, just to sample EJ's work, you should probably get a sample of Happyland Shameless. That's my 10 favorite. It was very difficult to choose. There's a bunch of recent releases, Guileck Mist, Cripple Creek, just some great stuff that came out that wasn't able to make it. Paisley Dreams, another great fragrance. Cravat Noir, kind of a YSL tuxedo type of vibe. Another one really good. Green Irish Tobacco. Green Irish Tweed meets Tobacco Vanille. I mean, he's got so much good. You really can't go wrong here. Faux du Fafa for you patchouli lovers. Beautiful spicy patchouli fragrance. I mean, as they pop in my head, I could just go on and on. There's a few that I don't care for. Mad Anthony, don't like the opening, love the dry down. Shadowland, very strange fragrance. For being based around Aura/Iris, you would think I love it. Not really. Don't reach for that one. Not a fan. But the overall majority of the releases that are available from Happyland, or at least sample worthy, EJ does some fantastic work. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What's some of your favorites from Happyland? What in this video kind of sparked your interest? Was this video helpful for any of you? Or was it just entertainment and you were curious how my taste has changed? I know that's the case for some of the people that requested I revamp this list. Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the 10 that are my favorites from Happyland and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.